Guys, today I want to talk to you about the difference between knowledge and wisdom. The difference between knowledge and wisdom. Before we do that, let me take you through and remind you of our three keys to success or three keys to excellence. We said what? Number one, that you have the drive and desire, right? Number two, that you develop the know-how, the what to do and the how to do it. That is the knowledge and the skill, right? And number three, we said that you have diligent, disciplined, daily action. So we have desire and drive, we have developed know-how, knowledge and skill, and then we have daily action, right? Those are the principles of success and excellence. And I don't care what endeavor you're in, from professional sports to professional salesmanship, they're the same, right? Now, how does that connect to our topic today? Well, I want to tell you the difference between knowledge. Part two, of course, of success, the three steps of success, is developing the knowledge and the skill. And part three is action. Part two is knowledge, right? Knowing what to do, knowing how to do it, maybe even being able to do it, but not doing it. Knowledge is knowing what to do, but wisdom is what? Actually doing it, right? So wisdom would be knowledge applied. Now, how does that relate to the car business? Let me tell you. When I first came to Indy, I actually drove my motorhome right onto the lot of a dealership. It was the only dealership in Indianapolis that was advertising for a sales manager. I drove my motorhome on the lot, took a shower, put my suit on in there, and went in and got the job as a used car manager, right? So that first couple Saturdays, I was appraising cars, and it was high volume dealership. I was appraising 20, 24 cars a day, right? A lot of cars. And they were putting these deals together left and right, and every single appraisal just about they were bumping. And I don't mean bumping 100 or two. I mean a couple thousand. And so I watched the sales process and realized there was none. What was happening is the buyer said, I want this for my trade, and the desk manager simply did what? Bumped the appraisal to get there to put the deal together, right? So I went to the general sales manager and said, listen, man, we've got to do some training. Can I do some training? I'm a trained trainer, and I'd love to train staff on what we call the silent appraisal, looking at these used cars so that maybe we can take them in on the money and not have so much water on the lot, right? Because I didn't control the final ACV. He did. I put him on the money, on the market, but the desk controlled the final ACV. So what I just wanted to do is influence that with some training, right? So I bring the staff up. Now listen, it's a big staff. I think it was somewhere in 25 or 30 salesmen at this dealership. A lot of salesmen, and we're up in the meeting room, and they're all skeptical, like, why are we listening to this guy? He's been here a few weeks. Why are we even up here? We don't need training. The guy's like, I've been selling cars for 20 years. I've been selling cars 10 years. I sell this many cars a month. Why do we have to do this training? Anyway, we got going with the training, and the first thing I asked them was, anybody heard of the silent appraisal? And of course, what did I hear from all these experienced people? They're like, of course we've heard of the silent appraisal. Been selling cars, since you were in diaper. They were all telling me how they knew what the silent appraisal was. So I asked this next question, guys, okay, so you've heard of silent appraisal before, so I can't teach you anything about that, right? So guys, why do we have it? And so they all chimed in, why the silent appraisal was so important. People are crazy on the trade. They don't know. They told me all the reasons to do it. And I said, well, okay, so how do you do it then? I mean, do you guys know how to do it? Can I train you on that? They're like, we don't need training on that. We know exactly how to do it. And they detail, guys, I think you see it coming. But what I was doing was step by step, was walking them out the plank, right? Putting their head in the noose slowly but surely. And they were willingly go into it. What was I trying to demonstrate for them? You know what the silent appraisal is. You know why it's so important. And you even know how to do it, right? That's what I was demonstrating. And then, of course, my final question was, okay, guys, so you guys know what it is, and you know why to do it, you know how to do it. Obviously, training's done. So let me ask you guys, out of the 24 cars I appraised Saturday, how many of you guys did a silent appraisal on those cars? That was the first quiet that was in the room, right? And, of course, I knew the answer to that. So, guys, here's what I'm saying. These salesmen had all the knowledge in the world, but they weren't applying it. They weren't using the knowledge they had. They were shortcutting. That shows foolishness or lack of wisdom. Guys, wisdom is knowledge applied. And I know sometimes it's harder to do than said, but guys, if you know how to do something and you know it's going to be a benefit, why not commit to doing it every day, guys? I know as humans, this is where we struggle. I know we struggle with this, guys. But here's what I'm asking you. You guys are well trained. You know what to do. You spend time developing your skills, and you know what you do matters. You know what you do determines if they're going to buy today, how much they're going to pay, and how they feel. True? Guys, so we know the sales process was designed to maximize what? Your sales, to maximize your gross and develop that loyal lifetime buyer, guys. So here's what we're asking you. Apply your knowledge today. Be wise. Use wisdom today. Follow the steps of the sales process, and give that experience of work with excellence, and give that experience of excellence to every single opportunity you have today, right? All right, guys. Good selling.